back.
It is the army band. Oh my god, I'm almost dead. Oh, shit.
That's how you start an episode.
I'm out of the thing. Oh, you got a thing up there, don't you?
Yeah, it's okay.
So in the last episode, you had asked me my gaming history. You're like you're writing a report on me. You got some of those like game fact website or something.
A history of good.
Well, I started with Commodore, obviously. I think I've told you that part before. So gamed through that, and we had an Intellivision at the house too. So we had like every game for that. I still have that somewhere. So there's a lot of gaming through that. Like I think Burger Time was my favorite game on there. So I was always gaming through that type of stuff, and then we got Nintendo when I was, when they first came out. So all the Nintendo stuff that was, but see, that's the thing, not all the Nintendo stuff. Like I never got into Zelda at all. So there's been no Zelda in my history at all. Like even though when I've tried to play Zelda, I just couldn't get into it, I guess. But I remember I got an Easter basket from my mom. It's whenever my mom and dad were divorced, and so she had mailed me an Easter basket when I was living here, and it had Crystalis in the Easter basket, and I played the shit out of some Crystalis.
I remember you saying how much you like Crystalis or something like that.
That's awesome.
But never got into Zelda for whatever reason. It's Crystalis.
I play Crystalis.
It's fun. I've never beaten it though. I was gonna beat it on YouTube, and then I never got that because there's a part where you have to like spend a little bit of time grinding, and I never.
Yeah, I said you were doing like a series or something like that, weren't you?
Yeah. That's the only, or I think it's one of the only like 2 unfinished series on my channel. It's that. And I can't think of another actually. It might just be that.
I have so many unfinished shit. Oh my god. I'll go into that when we finish hearing about your history of gaming.
But something happened at some point or other where I kind of fell off. Like the only game I only bought a PlayStation just to have Final Fantasy VII, and that's really the only thing I ever really played on there for the most part. And then like about the time Nintendo 64 and stuff like that came out, that's like I remember my brother getting a Nintendo 64, but the only game I ever played on that, I played Mario a little bit. I remember whenever Super Nintendo came out. We didn't buy one, but we used to go rent them from the movie, or not from the movie theater, the rental place, and like rent like a Super Nintendo and like Mario. Me and Mom would play that a lot, but sometime after that point when I started working, so I didn't spend as much time gaming, I guess. So like when the Nintendo 64 and all that stuff came out, I had like fallen out of gaming in regards to console gaming and that type of stuff. But soon after that, so I got my first PC that could run a game, and I remember being in like the NASCAR leagues all through dial-up. So I played like NASCAR league there for a while. But yeah, I missed gaming for the Nintendo 64 and that point on. I had a friend that had a Neo Geo, a TurboGrafx 16, all that type of shit. Whenever we lived in Texas, yeah, he was super rich.
He had money.
yeah.
Those were $600, right? I think.
At
the time.
Yeah. Yep. So I remember playing some of that type of stuff. He's also the guy that.
Sorry.
Oh, he was just say he's the guy that imported a Dreamcast from Japan for like $600 too before they came out in America.
So you got to experience the gigantic VHS tape-sized cartridges of the Neo Geo, then.
Yeah. Well, I guess I totally.
Did you know the pipes are broken by here, by the way?
Which pipes?
On the welding.
Oh yeah. That's why I'm standing outside it, looking at it, wishing I could fix it because I just broke it all.
We might need you, Go.
You need me?
Yeah.
For what?
To weld the stuff.
No, I think I got it, or I think I know what it is. It's not moving or anything.
Why can't I put it in?
Oh, you can't place a block here?
No. Something's coming.
You're not even near it.
What are you talking about? Whoa!
Like,
oh my god!
Screen, you're not.
Whoa! Everything just jumped forwards then.
Okay.
Had some sort of giant lag bubble.
I was like, why do we need to go? We're not that dumb. just a conveyor, man. Something needs to go there. It's okay, Millbeeful.
That was really weird.
Things got really weird there for a second.
I hear more. Jaguars? I never got Jaguar.
Oh yeah. Atari Jaguar. When that came out, I dropped all my life savings on that Jaguar CD. You name it.
Oof.
And then we moved, and my Jaguar CD broke. And then later, I bought a new one of those, and then it broke when we moved the next time. Like every time I moved, some part of my Jaguar just broke. Whenever I got to the destination, it just wouldn't start anymore.
Ah,
I have them all. I've rebought them all through eBay for the same fucking price I paid when I bought them new too. That's the thing. They don't lose value. You want a Jaguar? They're still $200.
well, they did, but everybody, like all of us who couldn't afford to get these things when we were kids, can now, and we're driving the price back up again on these fucking things. Unless you bought them a long time ago.
No, it's well, like I said, I bought a couple throughout time, but the last time I bought them, it's probably been about 10 years now. I guess at this point that I rebought everything. Hell, I bet if I go back and try to start it, probably won't even fucking start. Just for no reason at all. Like no wonder, it's no wonder they went out of business.
The Jaguars were notably shoddy, unfortunately.
Yeah, sucked. The only good game on it was Aliens versus Predator, anyways. Though there was this game that I wish I could play some more. I can't find the actual game. It's on Jaguar CD. It was a Highlander game. God, was it just the worst game ever made. But I feel like now that I'm a little bit older, maybe I could deal with it better or something. Like it just had the worst controls, just everything about it. It's just the worst game ever made. I wonder if it was on anything else. Yeah, it's just Highlander on Jaguar CD. Someone out there knows my pain.
I think I may have seen video of this somewhere. 'Cause, there's been a lot of people who've done like, this is a shitty video game.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Oh, maybe you're moving on me.
Sorry, I stood on it to see if I could stand on it without moving, but... Do you know what? Like, one of the first video games I remember playing, because when my parents owned this, like, bed-making company, it was called, like, Bedwise or something like that, and, before it, like, went under or whatever, but, they used to take me with them all the time, loads, when I wasn't in school or whatever. They used to take me there, and I had to spend, like, the day in their workplace. It was like a big building though, so I could like wander around and go on my own little adventures in there.
God damn. I'm so sorry.
He's gonna kill him.
Are you back?
I don't think he left. I think he's here. He's just listening.
I'm not telling the story about Co.
I'm here. I'm just muted because of the dog.
Oh, it's not
See?
the same.
I told you.
Right? No, it was. What was I saying? Yeah. So it was this game. It was just to play. It was like from these old. It was like the old DOS computers.
Mm-hmm.
And with like I didn't get into PC gaming at all until I started doing YouTube. Funny enough, because I never had a PC that would run any sort of decent games. I think that before then, like the most PC games I played was like these crappy like adventure, clicking adventure games that I hate now. But yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, it was just like I can't write. I've looked for this game for such a long time, and I can't remember what it was called, and I've never been able to find it.
What was it like?
Right, you were this like with such crappy graphics, because it was a DOS game. It was also I think I played one of the one of the Wolfenstein sort of rip-offs, one of the many ones that appeared. All those games that appeared after Wolfenstein did and stuff like that. Well, not Wolfenstein.
Right.
Well, actually, no, what wasn't Wolfenstein the first one? It was
Doom? Is that
Doom,
anything like
yeah.
Doom?
Yeah, one of the many Doom sort of rip-offs that wasn't Doom. Actually, I think it was Wolfenstein I was playing.
Well, that's not
Good
a
lord.
The old Wolfenstein. The old Wolfenstein. That was like Doom, wasn't it? Kinda.
What?
No.
You're caught in a loop here, Milby.
It was like, oh god, what was?
It was just blue walls, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, the game I'm trying to think of though, it was like you were this like white spaceman. You were totally white, and you collected these strange color things.
Are you thinking of Marathon or something like that?
It looked, the character kind of reminded me of Commander Keen, but I've looked at all the Commander Keen games and I've never recognized any of them as the game that I played when I was a kid.
Wait, were you in space and there was like little aliens too?
One of those pipes isn't working good.
fuck's sakes, why not? I
I
wonder.
might have put the thingy down wrong.
Oh, you did. You put the conveyor down wrong.
Yeah, shit. No, I don't. It was no, but it was so there was like, it was kind of hard to tell where you were because of how crappy looking it was.
Mm.
I've
There was a space game I loved on Commodore. You were a little white man, but
What was it
that's
called?
probably not it. I can't remember the name of it either. That's why that wasn't going to be any
I
help.
went on this massive search for it, and I was just like, I can't find it. I've always wanted to find it because I've always wanted to go back and finish it because I could never beat it when I was a kid. But I'm a lot better than I was when I was a kid, so I think I could probably do it now. Maybe. I've always wanted to beat that game. I just wish I could remember what it was. Oh my god. But yeah, that was the first. That's the first one I can remember. And then I used to have this old. Oh god, it had Echo the Dolphin on it, but it wasn't the game Echo the Dolphin. It was like a weird. It used to have this weird Sonic thing. It was like this pad thing with a pen, and you could touch it, and it wasn't really a game, but it kind of was a game. It was like a book thing, and then you could touch it, and it would do what it did in the book on screen. It had Echo the Dolphin.
We're losing him.
Yep.
Throw him a rope.
Slowly.
Oh god. Oh man. Yeah, and then I don't know. And then I remember getting Super Nintendo and Super Mario and the Super Mario All Stars. And then after that I was just like, oh my god, I love these games. These are great. And then I remember playing. I remember beating Bowser on Super Mario World for the first time and being super excited. And then my brother, who was very very young at the time, burst through the door, and my TV and Super Nintendo were in swinging distance of the door. And he burst open so hard that the door swung open and hit the Super Nintendo, and it froze and it erased itself. All the game did.
Oh, damn it.
Super Nintendos are really good at doing that. Mine would always like randomly erase. Ever after that, it would always like randomly just erase data from games.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to go out there and say that might have just been your Super Nintendo.
I know, like,
Ever
after my
experienced-
brother fucked up my Super Nintendo, it was really good at racing games.
Like there was Diddy Kong's Quest was the best one we had. Well, actually, that was the cartridge. It didn't matter. There was this Diddy Kong's Quest cartridge we have, and it wouldn't work very often. Like it took a lot of had to take a lot of the old blowing it and putting it in and out to get it to work. I don't know if the blowing it any made any difference, but it definitely felt like it did.
And I've hardly ever experienced that with Super Nintendo stuff.
Really?
NES, yes. NES is very finicky.
Oh man,
And
just all the time. I never kept them in boxes though. Super Nintendo games. I always just kept them out of the actual cartridge out of the box, in this giant box of cartridges.
They're pretty resilient.
Yeah, they were. But
You still have the little plastic sleeves on the bottom of your Super Nintendo cartridges?
we
The
know.
only
We
one
did.
that has plastic sleeves.
Oh yeah, the little sleeves. Yep.
You had different Super Nintendos,
That's
you did,
for-
didn't you?
We did have a different.
You had the
different
ugly.
one.
You had the ugly
The
Super Nintendo.
purple and gray one. Yeah. You guys had the pretty Super
We had the
Nintendo.
Famicom looking one. Yeah, similar to Japanese did. That's
I
like
don't know
when I
why
see.
they did that. I
Yeah.
still don't understand like what was so bad about that design that they had to make this special one for the United States. It
Whenever I
was
see the United States one, I'm like,
terrible.
oh my god, what's happened there? Why does it look like that? And,
It has transitioned into a world where everything is black and white, except for black is purple.
and and oh god, yeah, no, Diddy Kong's Quest it was, and it used to. We put the game in, and then sometimes the game, often the cartridge was very funky, and often it would just your game data would be gone, and we'd be like, oh okay, whatever, we'll just play it again. And this one time we put it in, and there was a file on there that had been complete, like 100%. And none of us had ever done that before, and it was like it was like I think we got it second hand, so it must have been some old save that had like been lost. It was inside the cartridge somewhere,
That's amazing.
and then it popped back up, and we were like, "Whoa! Oh my god! It's like 100% complete!" And then it disappeared again a couple days later, and we never saw it again. But I always remember that. It was so weird.
Yeah,
Pretty funny though.
I think your Super Nintendo was broken, man.
Oh no, that was the cartridge. That one. That was just that particular Diddy Kong's Quest cartridge. Did that in everyone's Super Nintendo. Me and my
Okay.
friends both had the Super Nintendo. Did it in my where we put it. It was very funny. It was very finicky. I always found Super Nintendo to be kind of, well, as I got older anyway. I need to get a Super Nintendo again.
Man, I wish lights in this game did anything.
They drop your frame rate.
They do that. That's true.
That's something.
Yep.
That is something.
It's definitely a thing.
Like a lot of times, I don't feel like I'm like the typical gamer when it comes to, like, it's like some of you guys, like, you played a lot more games than I did because I started working so young that I missed a. I mean, I played tons of games, but I missed a portion of what my generation considers the pinnacles of gaming because I was busy doing other things.
Living life.
It doesn't really matter. I mean,
Well, I know that, but
I missed a lot of them too, but you can play games anytime. So
yeah.
the reason I
Yeah.
missed a lot of shit was just because I was like, whatever, I don't care. I don't know, like, I don't even know the reasons why some of the things I skipped. Like, Majora's Mask, I never played. Tomorrow's gonna be my first time playing it for real. And that one's sort of like one of those games that everybody played.
Right. See, I think that there is a certain, like you said, you can play games anytime. I agree and disagree with that because I think that too much changes. Like I think if I played Final Fantasy VII right now for the very first time, I don't think I would refer back to that as, oh man, this game that, oh, I can't believe how great this game is. You know what I mean?
That's
Because that
exactly
feeling
what
you
I
get
get.
when you see that opening scene, like, you wouldn't get that now because you'd be like, wow, that's like shit. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what I get. I didn't play it
Yeah.
until I didn't play Final Fantasy VII for the first time until about 5 years ago. And
You're
then-
definitely not gonna have the
Yeah.
experience you would have if it was new. I agree. I mean, I'm not saying that you'll be able to have that experience at all. I just meant that you literally can play them at any time.
Yeah.
But you definitely have to set your expectations.
Like, I wonder, like, I loved playing Mud. You mentioned that you used to play Mud. I didn't even talk about that at all. But I mean, that consumed my life for many years, just playing Mud and then
What's
developing my own multi-user dungeon. It's all text-based. When I
one of those.
like, I don't think a lot of people could get into that now when they have things like World of Warcraft and stuff. But back then, everyone was on dial-up, so you didn't really have.
When it's like,
I mean, EverQuest
go
had come
left,
out, but
You go left.
yeah, right.
Have sex. You have sex.
Hmm.
Like role playing in a forum.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. It was funny because I didn't know such a thing existed, and I was trying to develop that technology inside of IRC. And then someone's like, "Why don't you just go play a Mud?" And I'm like, "What the fuck's a Mud?" And they're like, "That thing you're trying to make right now, it already exists. It's called Mud." I was like, "Oh, okay."
That was a waste of time.
Yeah, pretty much. I'd spent like 2 weeks just programming like bear AI about how a bear would interact with the people inside chat.
That's awesome.
Oh dear.
That is.
Wow, I'm
awesome.
getting some massive spikes.
Oh, well, don't worry, the game just saved.
I didn't even see that.
You're so loud you can't even see the big blue screen comes up. It's like it doesn't come for you.
It doesn't come for him.
Nothing comes for me. Not anymore.
Oh boy. All right.
All those farts. Can't make anything come for you anymore.
But yeah, perspectives certainly would be different now on certain things. But I found that if I go into something with the mindset that I'm going to just appreciate it for what it is, I don't know.
Oh shit, I'm gonna have to get rid of this.
It's a-
fucking welding.
It definitely doesn't apply to the general gaming public because there's a lot of people that just only want what's new. Or I think the mainstream of gaming only wants what's new, and past stuff is just really sort of reserved for those who are willing to dive in, but everybody else is like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that said, it's also weird how there's been such a resurgence in the last year of 80s style games. You look at all these like games that are critically acclaimed, like Nihog or whatever, and it's like, listen, my daughter could have made that. Come on now.
Well, a lot of these games actually do things that are more interesting than they might look. Like
Yeah,
it's
no,
mostly
yeah.
looks that are.
It's like this, like a lot of indie. It's like it looks like a Super Nintendo game, but it's got all these modern like gameplay mechanics that
Yeah.
would never existed in a Super Nintendo game.
Well,
makes-
actually, a lot of them have gameplay that has not existed before,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
even in modern games, which is interesting. That's what makes having those games worthwhile. Is not the fact that they used a retro aesthetic, but that they are actually exploring gameplay that hasn't been explored. Not all of them do that, but
I get a bonus in that I love that look. I love that style. Like I really like the pixel art stuff. And then
Well, I
also
just
get,
think
like, new
it's just
looks.
nostalgia that you feel, though. I believe personally. I don't know. I'm not inside of you, but
I disagree.
No, I
That's a
really
lot of
like
people's-
that
like,
style.
I think
I have a
I think that's a
massive love for that
perception
style.
or a common explanation for why that's popular, but it's actually I like Milby like that art style. I just like it independently. It's not a nostalgic feeling.
I just wonder if you still would have feel this way, would feel this way if you hadn't grown up at a different time in your life or time in the world, not in your life. You know what I mean?
I think that
wonder.
it contributes. I think that it contributes to a willingness to accept that art style.
Yeah. Because then you get a lot of people like, oh, what's the point of making all these games that look like they were all made for like old stuff? And you're like, what's wrong with that?
But I can sort of tell the difference between like rose-colored glasses and not. Like there's games where I appreciate the sprite art and stuff like that, and it's not just because I grew up with sprite games. I think.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is I wonder if we can even know. You know what I'm saying? Like I believe you.
It's unknowable.
Yeah, it's
Right.
hard. It's hard to say like how you would have been if you've grown up totally
Right.
different, basically.
Right. Yeah.
Well, there are certainly people out there who like absolutely hate that. Like they really, really don't like that. I don't know. Like I don't understand hating it the way some people do with like a really strong vitriol. But
Yeah.
that
I think
exists
that's
as well.
sometimes it's kind of what you were saying about Majora's Mask. Like, oh, it's they hate it because they don't want it to be cool because they think it's cool because it's not really something that's new, but it's something being rehashed because of nostalgia. So they hate the idea of people liking this thing because they feel like the people are sheep or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
So the hipsters.
That is a tangled web.
So what you're saying is they're hipsters.
Yeah. Yes.
Hipsters who like
Yeah.
the mainstream. They're mainstream hipsters.
Oh my god. Basking right now is just targeting the shit out of the Jody.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh.
they're all pointed at this one turret on the Jody, and it's like scary. Sorry. Go ahead.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Jesus Christ! Why are they so mad at that one spot?
Oh,
This
no.
is so weird to watch.
What the fuck? Oh, so these... What's wrong with this turret, then?
But yeah, I mean, it's really hard to say. I have no idea what the right answer is there.
All these green lines, game saved.
Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know.
Oh man! And with that, goodbye.
Bye. I don't know. I don't know. Goodbye.